Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Your weekend is not complete without the First Lady of New York Radio. It's the Joan Hamburg Show. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
I always love talking to the former governor of the great state of New York, David Paterson. He does it all. He's smart. He knows everything. And he's all bedecked for the holiday spirit. And I want you to tell everyone, Governor Paterson, what's going on? I mean, I know you're involved with Sands, New York. They're doing a big special Christmas tree outside the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island. Really nice. And tell me what your involvement is. And it sounds really beautiful and exciting.
Well, I've been a senior vice president at the Sands Corporation for the last 5 years. And of course, we've done a lot of work in New York. And we have are calling this the season of sparkle. So we'll start on Sunday from 9 to 12 in the parking lot of the Coliseum, doing an event where we're co-sponsoring with Toys for Tots. And that was always one of our favorite organizations to work with. And then Monday night, we're going to have an event from 5 until 9, where there'll be a tree lighting and refreshments and food and song and you know, just in the whole spirit of the holiday. And it takes me back, Joan, because as long as we've known each other, I don't know that you actually ever knew this, but I grew up in Long Island. That part you knew. But it's why I grew up in Long Island, and it's because in 1959, when I was school age, the New York City public school system would not put a blind student in the class with the other students, or really students with any disability, and my mother was not having it.
I bet.
So she went to Westchester. She went to Connecticut. Glad she didn't go to New Jersey, right? I had to hear about that on Saturday Night Live. But she found that the village of Hempstead was assimilating the disabled students into the classes, and I became one of the first to actually go through the whole Hempstead school system, graduated Hempstead High School, and just loved the time out there. And I don't think I would have wound up where I was if I hadn't been educated in the Long Island school districts. And so coming back to have an exciting time, seeing old friends of mine and being in places that I used to go to. The Nassau Coliseum was very exciting in the 70s when the Islanders and the Nets were playing there. Both of them they've moved on, and there were a lot of businesses were spawned around it, and they were, you know, very great environment. And we're trying to restore that. And so it's been really, this is, they really shouldn't pay me to do this part of the job because I just enjoy coming out there all the time.
Well, don't say that too loud.
I know, because they'll take me up.
You don't want them to hear that. But you know, you're such a great, I've always admired you, and you're such a great life's lesson to a lot of people, and your mother too, that no nonsense, you know, she insisted that you live a full life no matter what, and wasn't going to let anything stop her or you from participating. And it makes a huge difference. And it is a lesson for people who have disabilities, small, big, whatever, that they can be anything, do anything, and just do it. And that's always been you, you know. I'm just doing everything. And you've done everything.
You know, you really have to gain the self-esteem to be able to do it. There were times you know, early in my life when I just wasn't sure that I could keep up, or, you know, there were just little obstacles, and she was always pushing me. My mom is still around. She's 94 years old. She's in a nursing home in the Bronx, and she is just as adamant about her points of view now as she was then.
Good for her. We know where you came from.
Yes, absolutely. And so this should be a real great opportunity. There's no admission charge either on Sunday or Monday to come on out to the Coliseum and be part of the events there and kind of reignite the excitement that has always been part of not just Long Island, but just in this particular area of Nassau County. And we're really happy to do it. And of course, the toy drive is very important to make sure that little kids who are in places where they otherwise wouldn't would get gifts on Christmas this year. And there's nothing that warms your heart more than that.
No, it's great. And you participate so much in the life, not only on Long Island, but the life of the city, doing everything, really bringing it to people's attention. And do you still, you're involved in so many things in this town. Do you still think politically a lot?
Yeah, I guess I kind of have to. It kind of goes with the title.
Yeah.
And, so I try to keep up to date with the events that, happen. As a matter of fact, one piece of information I just noticed is that the former Supreme Court Judge, Sandra Day O'Connor, passed away today. And these are other people who, committed their lives to a certain type of service, and we should certainly honor them on their passing.
Right. And you have always been involved in the political life surrounding you, and you continue to be. Do you often think of what it would take to make you run?
I think it would take...
well, you never know.
I think it would take a psychiatric exam because I certainly enjoyed my time there, but it takes a lot of out of you, and it's an encumbrance on your family, and the higher you go, the more of a target you become. I certainly learned that, and but. I don't have any regrets, and a lot of the work that we did at that particular time, particularly balancing the budget and the way we did it, is being well thought of now, even though it was criticized at the time. So I think I'm pretty happy just doing other jobs. And by the way, neither Michelle, my former wife, or I, because I just spoke to her the other day, we remember the time when you were on vacation and we actually did the show for you.
I remember you guys filled in and you did a great job. You did such a great job. I think I came home early. And we always enjoyed talking about our families, our kids, what they were up to, what they are going to be up to, the good and the complicated. So
I remember a particular incident back when I was governor, when you had contacted the office and said that, take a night off, come to our house, we're going to have a barbecue. And we came to the house, and I guess the whatever it was that starts the barbecue wasn't working. So one of your other guests went home and got theirs, and the barbecue went on.
It was Joy Behar's husband.
Who went and got yes. And it was such a fun night. It was the first night that I ever met John Gambling. And so it was just a wonderful time. And you've been a real great addition to WABC, and, all the listeners remember you from your other work.
Yeah.
And I was a real radio listener. It was making up for the fact that I couldn't read the newspapers or magazines. So I remember when you first started in New York. And that was pretty exciting. Were you at WMCA at one point?
Of that, my very first job in radio was
that's
to
what I
replace. Remember Bob Grant? Get off my phone. They said I said, how did you find me? Because I had nothing to do with radio. I was writing for New York Magazine, and they said, well, we needed someone who would be nice. I said, what a qualification to get a job. You're nice, you're hired. But it was life-changing, for all of us.
It was.
And I remember.
Sustained it for such a long time and always find a way to make a show interesting and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun to be guest on your show. I don't think I've been on your show for a while.
No, you haven't, and you and I bump into each other at all different events. But,
yes, absolutely.
So I'm very happy that you're on, and I always love hearing what you're up to and what you're doing. And even though all those early political years were tough, you really were one of the people who made a difference, and that's what counts in this world, to leave a little footprint or a big one, and you are doing it and have done it.
Oh, thank you so much. And the great thing now is that when we do these things such as the toy drive we're going to have with Toys for Tots, and then the lighting of the tree and that kind of thing, at this point in my career, I don't really have to do this, but it's something I always enjoyed doing. So now it's actually easier because I don't have to go to 3 of the events. I can just go to the ones we're having, and it's a whole lot more satisfying for the soul.
Well, and no one does it better than you. Anyway, David, I love your visiting. Come over anytime. I want to keep catching up with you and what you're doing, and we have to be pretty fast to keep up with you.
I'll come over sometime, and I'll bring some lighter fluid just in case we run out.
It sounds good. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy everything to you and yours, and we'll talk soon.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's the one and only David Paterson, and I'm Joan Hamburg, and you're listening to your favorite station, WABC.